Take your mind into the wonderful world of physical, emotional, psychological, and spiritual wellness. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Kinetic Hour. Conversations with you and guests. With your host, Kenneth Wesley Mason. That's me. All right. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, and welcome to another edition of the Kinetic Hour. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching. It's always appreciated. Go to my YouTube channel, which is at the Kinetic Hour, Kennetic. The Kinetic Hour, as always, or for now at least. This is a simulcast. We're live on Facebook Live and on Instagram Live. So welcome one and welcome all. Thank you for tuning in. It's greatly appreciated. Go to my YouTube channels, again, the Kinetic Hour, and my other YouTube channel, which is Kinetic Fit and Wellness Info at Kinetic Fit. Make sure you subscribe, click thumbs up, and leave your comments, which are always appreciated. Feedback is great. Two things that I'll bring up, or I might just talk about one and then talk about the other on the next go around, the next broadcast. And again, this is a simulcast, so I am live on Facebook and on Instagram Live. My sister brought something to my attention this morning that was kind of disturbing to me, and many of you may have seen it already. It's been the buzz since, I guess, since this morning or last night or the previous night. But I'm going to show you this. The people on Instagram Live won't be able to see this, but I'm going to put a headline up. And maybe some of you have seen this already. This headline here. Some of you may have seen this. Again, headline: the Dalai Lama apologizes or has apologized after a viral or a video emerged showing the spiritual leader kissing a child on the lips and then asking him to, quote, suck my tongue at an event. And this was an event, I guess in India. This was an event in India, in February of this year. Let's see, I have another one here. I mean, this is kind of, it's pretty disturbing to me, at least, being a father. And let's see, is this the right one? Yeah, looks like this is the right one. Another one right here. Oh boy. All right, here we go. So the previous photo that you saw was from CNN.com. And this here is from USA Today. The Dalai Lama, the spiritual head of the Tibetan community, apologized Monday after bizarre video of him kissing a young Indian boy on the lips and asking him to suck his tongue went viral. The footage, which took place during a public event in India, has sparked widespread criticism with child rights groups as well as social media users calling the removal or move inappropriate, or calling the move inappropriate, and calling for the 87-year-old head monk of Buddhism's removal. This has been the talk over the last, actually pretty much all day. Got one here. This is a photo here. We have another one. This one here, which is again disturbing. Yeah. And this is a spiritual leader that we've, that's been in the public eye for, oh gosh, and to my memory, we're going back 2 decades plus, maybe even 3 decades that I've heard of this specific leader or Tibetan Buddhist monk named the Dalai Lama. Yeah, so it's just a lot of stuff here. It's really, it's, to say the least, this is disturbing. My question is, where are the parents? Where are the parents in this equation? Where are the parents in this equation? And because this specific boy, according to the report, all he wanted was a simple hug from this spiritual leader, or this person that's been called a spiritual leader for the last 40 some years, 30 plus years. And he's apologized to his community of other Buddhist monks and the people that practice Buddhism. Now, my question is that apology going to be acceptable? Or is it going to be an apology that we accept as a society? Because here in America, actions like this would create an uproar. I mean, if this happened here in the States, whether it was him or any other public figure, this would create an uproar. I mean, this is a minor child that merely wanted to embrace the Dalai Lama and feel the Dalai Lama's energy, if you will. I mean, people come from miles around to pay respects to this person. The Pope is another public figure that shares these type of accolades publicly, where when they do go public or when they're out in public, they create a spectacle because of the figures that they are. But at the same time, these figures are human beings. They're human beings and they're not infallible. They're not infallible. They're human beings, and human beings like this need to be brought to the forefront. I mean, this is a public figure suggesting for a minor child to suck on his tongue in front of the whole world. This is on camera. This is forever. Now, is an apology from him appropriate? Is an apology from him appropriate? And is it an apology that we will accept as a society? Or is this something, especially as a parent, I'm a parent, that's not something that I would allow for my child, and my daughter has enough presence of mind that I believe that she wouldn't even entertain anything of the like. And I and her mother, as her parents, wouldn't even allow it to have gone that far. Period. Period. Why? Because that type of act is inappropriate. What is he getting out of that? What kind of jollies is he getting? The Dalai Lama. What is he gaining out of that? What is he feeling as this boy is performing that act in front of, on camera? And this is a human being that's been labeled as a spiritual leader of Buddhist practices in India. where Buddhism was created by the master Buddha. We're talking hundreds of years from South India. He was actually an African prince, or an Indian prince, I'm sorry, by way of Africa. And his teachings have been practiced for, oh gosh, we're talking close to 1,000 years or more. Buddhism, the practice of Buddhism, which is a great practice, but when you have leaders or so-called leaders such as this performing inappropriate acts publicly, I mean, not that it's any better if it was done privately, but because this was a public spectacle. Yeah, and this happened in February. But it's almost mid-April now, and we're just now knowing about this from the great holiness, the holier than thou, Dalai Lama, the man that many people that practice Buddhism are supposed to look up to. This human being that's supposed to be a spiritual leader. And this is what we're supposed to follow, or this is what people that practice Buddhism, that's what they're supposed to follow. And that's okay. Again, where are the parents, or where were the parents? And why did they allow that act to occur? And why are we just now hearing about it almost 2 months later? 2 months. And some people are calling for him to step down as being labeled as His Holiness. And I wonder how many other, quote, spiritual leaders are going to speak up against this inappropriation of a minor. How many other spiritual leaders are going to condemn this? Or are they going to sweep it under the rug and then it's going to be business as usual tomorrow? Because he apologized for what some people would call a lewd act. That's what it would be called here in the States. A lewd act, something that's leaning towards being something of a sexual act. So why isn't there more uproar from the spiritual community? Or at least I would hope that that would happen like now. I mean, 87 years of age, and these are the acts that he believes is appropriate. And he says it's a part of his teasing. He loves to tease people and make fun and jokes. Well, asking a minor boy to do that, first it was a hug, then it became a kiss on the cheek, then it became a kiss on the lips. And then to cap it, tongue, almost like a tongue kiss, right? The Dalai Lama. Now, what kind of energy is he receiving from this child doing that to him? What kind of energetic surge is he receiving? The Dalai Lama, 87 years of age. What other Buddhists, people that practice Buddhism, they're supposed to look up to him for their spiritual needs or spirituality. And that's the person that they're supposed to look up to. That, you know, as an opinion, that should be reconsidered. That should be reconsidered. For an 87 years of age leader of the Buddhist spiritual community. I didn't know that people of the spirit world perform those type of acts as a part of spirituality. I mean, I like looking at books of spirituality and practicing it as best that I can with what I know and what I'm still learning over a 2-year period. But those acts are not a part of that equation, and it never has been. Yeah, that's just inappropriate. I don't know what the rest of social media land, uh, what their belief system or value system is when it comes to something of this nature. But that is something that is, to me, 100% inappropriate for an elderly man to um, suggest for a minor child to perform that kind of act and then call it teasing or joking and then apologizing for it, and then with the belief that everything will be okay because of his position in the world, because of his position in the world as being a spiritual leader that people in the spiritual community are supposed to follow. uh, yeah, the Dalai Lama, the great holiness Dalai Lama. That's what he's doing. And if this is just now surfacing 2 months later, um, the question is this the first time that this has happened? I mean, for him to ask so freely, and you know, it begs the question: is this the first time the Dalai Lama has done this with children? His 87-year-old self, is this what he does on a regular? Or was this just some random one-time act? Either way, it's still inappropriate. Either way, it's a minor. He's a minor, a boy from India that all he wanted to do was to be next to a man of a higher vibration so he can feel some of his energy. And this is how far the Dalai Lama chose to go. I'm sure the little boy wasn't asking for all of that. All he wanted was a hug. But he got all this other extracurricular activity. And we're just supposed to accept it. And it's unacceptable. Unacceptable. So again, you can leave your comments about that. It's I can't talk too much more about that. It's highly unprofessional on his part as a spiritual leader and someone that's been looked up to for decades. And this is what he does. Okay. The Dalai Lama, Mr. Spiritual Leader. That's what spiritual leaders do, I guess, when you're in his position. The Dalai Lama. Ay, ay, ay. The people on Instagram Live didn't get to see those pictures, but I'll have them up when I do post-production and put it up on my YouTube channel. Many of you may have already seen the pictures, but you can put in the comments what you think, what you believe, what you think should happen to the Dalai Lama, his holiness, as they refer to him. But you can put all that in the comments. And also in the comments when it goes on YouTube. Another topic that I'm going to go into right now, let me see here, is this topic right here. Again, the people on Instagram Live won't be able to see this, but the people on Facebook will. And it's this right here. Headline: plastic surgery industry. Plastic surgery industry booming as 1.3 million men in America are getting BBLs, which means Brazilian butt lifts, lipo, which means liposuction, and ab implants report. And this comes from Hollywood Unlocked, which and you can look all this up on other sites as well. This is public knowledge. It goes flat tummies, perky, fluffy cheeks, and well-shaped bodies isn't just a girl's thing. According to an exclusive report by the Daily Mail, many men in America have also been trying to achieve the perfect body with the help of plastic surgery. With the help of plastic surgery. Oh boy, what are we doing as men? I mean, let me read the rest of this first. Let me read the rest of this before I make a comment. Let me read the rest of this. Oh boy. And this is nothing new. I mean, a lot of men have been going under the knife quite frequently over the last decade. Figures from the American Society of Plastic Surgeons suggest that 1.3 million men in the US have been going under the knife each year for cosmetic procedures, including liposuction, nose jobs, breast reduction, and even the popular Brazilian butt lifts. Dr. Nicholas Jones, MD, a plastic surgeon at Nip and Tuck Plastic Surgery in Atlanta, spoke with the Daily Mail and said he most commonly sees men come in for liposuction, BBLs, as well as treatment for overdevelopment of breast tissue. He said when it comes to liposuction specifically, men are more likely to get high definition liposuction. Dr. Jones added, at one point, I would say it was frowned upon for a man to have surgery, but now it's more accessible and people are showing their bodies off on social media. He went on to say, due to this decreasing stigma, men feel more competent and willing to undergo procedures. Now, why are men going under the knife more often during this era of plastic surgery? We do see more and more men having plastic surgery, ab implants, chest or pectoral implants, bicep implants. I've always said, and I've said it on so many posts on Instagram and Facebook, that the human body is magical. It's magical. It can do whatever you train for it to do. I mean, it can give you the ultimate pec muscles. You can have the ultimate gluteus maximus. You can have the ultimate gluteus minimus and medius. I mean, you can develop it into being the perfect shape, which belongs to you, not the shape that a plastic surgeon created for you. And again, what goes on in the psyche of men that believe or have the feeling that they need to have plastic surgery to feel good about themselves, or to have the perfect body, or to have some sense of vanity to themselves, so they can be more received within society. So what goes on in the psyche of today's man? Are we too lazy to go to the gym? Are we too lazy to change the diet? Are we too accustomed to instant gratification? You know, the microwave approach, wanting everything yesterday without taking the necessary steps to appreciate the body because you worked on it. You were the surgeon, not spending tens of thousands of dollars for a surgeon to create something or conjure something for you. Anesthetics and or anesthesia, which alone costs thousands of dollars. So why are men choosing to go this route versus changing the lifestyle? Well, many, if not, well, I won't say most men, many men don't want to change their lifestyles. They want to keep their lifestyles, but uh, have the perks as if they change their lifestyle. No going to the gym, no mild exercise of any kind, still eating all the crappy foods that will create a non-six-pack. Just many factors that come into play when it comes to, let me pull this up one more time. Not that one right there. Oh gosh, where's that? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Let me go back here, because it's really interesting that so many men of today are choosing to go this route when it comes to changing their physiology. Yeah, it's pretty amazing that that men want to go that route. Liposuction, Brazilian butt lifts, meaning that you're taking fat from one area of your body and placing it in another part of your body because you're too lazy to burn the fat off yourself. Or that might be one of the reasons. Brazilian butt lifts, liposuction, breast reduction. Breast reduction for men, possibly. Some men do grow bigger breasts than some other men for varying reasons. Possibly having too many feminine hormones by way of an overconsumption of dairy products such as milk or cheese, which are loaded with feminine hormones. And this is common knowledge by now. Anyone that's in the health field or natural health field, or even allopathic medicine should know that there are feminine growth hormones that are pumped into the cow so they can grow faster. But every time we drink milk or cow's milk, you're getting a double, triple dose of feminine type hormones. So especially during adolescence, some boys that are transitioning into men, sometimes they will grow, have enlarged breasts. Not talking about, not talking double D's or anything like that, but they grow breasts that are larger. We call them the old term would be called man boobs. And some of you may have heard that term before, man boobs or man breasts, which is pretty common. So for some men, that may be appropriate, that procedure. Or you can just eliminate dairy out of your diet. That would be a great idea or a great consideration. Take the dairy out of your diet. Dairy and or any other type of hormonal replacement therapies that one might be receiving. So reduction of breast reduction for men, okay, in some cases that may be appropriate, but we're talking about for mere cosmetics, for the purpose of changing your aesthetics, your outer look, bigger arms, bigger chests, because you may feel inadequate about the chest that you have now, or the stomach, or what they call the love handles, the things on the side here that we call love handles for some reason, love handles, or the inner tube. You may have heard that before, that term, inner tube. But we see more and more men having aesthetics, plastic surgery for their changing their aesthetic look for their face. You see a lot of men having their noses done. You see their eyebrows being lifted. You see their faces being pulled back so they won't have wrinkles, the crow's feet, and things like this. You know, one of the best things that anyone can do to keep the skin supple is to start drinking water. Start drinking water, because water fills in those gaps. Water. Start drinking more water. I mean, the human body is 75 to 80% water. The brain is housed in water. Your blood is made predominantly in part by water. Water flows anywhere and everywhere. Water's in the atmosphere. We breathe water, the mist of water, every single day. We see water by way of the clouds. We live on a water planet. We live on a water planet. We breathe it every single day, every second of the day. We breathe it. And we know we breathe in and out because on the coldest day, when you breathe, you see the mist. That's water. And every time you expel, you need to bring it back. So drinking plenty of water will definitely help to bring the skin back to life. Water. And just changing the lifestyle, changing the perception about you, changing the perception, putting a different frame around you and how you feel about you and your value system and belief system, how you believe about you. And having appreciation for what was given to you by way of your parents and grandparents and great-grandparents. They helped in the creation of all of us, what we call our ancestors. And that goes for every person on the planet, all 8 billion of us. Ancestors, through our DNA, lineage. And we want to alter ourselves so consistently, not just women, which is another subject that I will address on another show, but just the fact that more men are taking this approach. Again, the question is, what's going on inside the mind of the man that feels and believes that they need to go under the knives to change their masculine selves, to be more masculine, or to look more masculine, or have the features of being more masculine, or giving off the perception of being more masculine. Being more masculine. So again, there's so many ways that you can transform the body into having the quote perfect body, or as close to it as possible. All of us were made in perfection. All of us are imperfectly perfect or perfectly imperfect. All 8 billion of us. We're all perfectly imperfect. We can change ourselves, not by way of a plastic surgeon spending tens of thousands of dollars, or having your insurance company pay for it, or most of it anyway. It just takes us off the hook, taking risks, or of not taking responsibility of our own bodies and appreciating it, at least to some degree, without feeling like you have to go under the knife to feel good about yourself. I mean, many people that get plastic surgery for cosmetic reasons, could it be because they want to feel more confident in their skin, because they have the belief that going under the knife will give that to them? Maybe. Could it be that their self-esteem is low about themselves, that they feel like they want to change something about themselves so others will look at them differently? possibly. Um, there's a multitude of reasons why people feel or believe that only a surgeon can give you the satisfaction of appreciating and loving your own human spiritual self, right? Because that's what we are. We're all spirit beings. Whether you belong to a religion or not, that's irrelevant. We're all spirit beings. We all chose the bodies that we're in. And it's up to us to master it and appropriate it. Not there's nothing on our bodies that's supposed to be sliced open. I mean, everything that we've ever needed has been given to us to change and transform our bodies to anything that we want without the help of a plastic surgeon. No one needs liposuction and tummy tucks. And I've seen, being in massage therapy for the years that I got to see clients post liposuction, and it's not the most attractive sight. Post liposuction, I've seen it firsthand. And these are the procedures that many of us believe that we must experience so we can further experience and appreciate our natural selves as we make ourselves more and more unnatural, right? By putting in silicone and removing fat from this place and putting it in this place, because we don't know about our own bodies. We don't know how our bodies function. We don't want to learn how our bodies function and how we can make it serve us to the highest degree. No, we don't want to learn that. We rather take the time out and spend tens of thousands of dollars, when that tens of thousands of dollars, that can be an investment in a business. That can be an investment in a car or a home. But no, we rather spend it and give it to a plastic surgeon so we can give the illusion that we're feeling good about ourselves without addressing all the underlying issues that you're covering up when you have plastic surgery. Because most people that have plastic surgery, they're not counseled on what's going on in their psyche, what happened in their past that made them feel so low about themselves. Surgeons don't go into that. That's not their business. That's not their business. They don't give a crap about the plight of most human beings that come in to see them. No. They just want to know what do you want enhanced? And we will do the best that we can to accommodate you. That's the appropriate description of a plastic surgeon. They're not it's not in their wheelhouse to play psychologist. Their wheelhouse is taking fat from one part of your body and putting it in another body or another part of your body so you can feel good about yourself. That's what they do, which is fine. That's their profession. But for the person that feels that only that procedure will raise their self-esteem or boost their confidence, yeah, it may do that for a while. But how does your body feel about that on the inside? When you're taking fat that's a totally different vibration and putting it somewhere else of a different vibration, all parts of your body function differently. And we're taking parts and silicone and putting them in, and then the body doesn't know how to handle all this stuff. So the body's going to respond appropriately. It's going to do anything and everything to try to maneuver through all of this stuff and function through all of this stuff, the plastic, right? The nipping and the tucking. The body has to adapt to all of this culture shock, and it takes its toll on the body. It takes its toll on the body for men and for women. It takes its toll on the body. So for any men that are watching this right now or tomorrow or 5 years from now, consider your why for believing that you must go through plastic surgery procedures to transform the human body. I mean, the human body is so pliable that you can create the body into anything. I mean, athletics proves that. Athletics proves that. You can take any given sport and just look at the figures. Just look at the figures for each sport. And for the average golfer, they have to do a specific workout. For the average wrestler, they have to do a specific workout. For the average football or basketball player, they have their respected workout regimen. But no matter what sport you play, you can transform your body to work for you in appropriation or in conjunction with that respective sport. With that respective sport, I can name one example is. I can just give an example. Brock Lesnar, I remember 2 decades ago when he looked totally different than he does now. He was more defined in his musculature, more defined. Today, 20 years later, he has more of a thickness and more of a solidness to his build. Why? Because he changed his workout regimen. Look at Dwayne Johnson, same thing. Look at him 20 years ago. Look at his figure, his physique 20 years ago. It's totally different than what it is now. And he's older. He's in his early 50s. Why? Because he changed his workout. And anyone can do this. Anyone can do this. Man or woman, doesn't matter. Anyone can do this. You don't have to go under the knife to get a 6-pack or an 8-pack implanted into you because you don't know how to work on your core and possibly change the eating habits so your core can flatten itself, not have a surgeon cut you open to flatten it for you. I mean, these are procedures that the body has no earthly clue how to handle. And more men are going this route, again, believing that this will give them the confidence that they so desire, or to have the quote perfect body or the perfect figure or the perfect physique. I'll say that, the perfect physique for a man. But again, and anyone can do some standard push-ups. If you want to build your chest muscles, you can do some standard push-ups. You can plank. I mean, you don't have to lift heavy weights to get a 6-pack. You don't have to lift heavy weights to get a muscle-bound chest. You don't have to do any of that stuff. Many people do calisthenics and they have better looking physiques than the average bodybuilder. So why are we still and keep believing that only by way of the plastic surgeon's knife can we receive the perfect aesthetics from head to toe? Just consider what you're putting your body through when you do these things. In your mind, you may feel that this is the best way, but have you talked to your body about this, the rest of your physique, the rest of your physiology, and how it's going to feel when you have a plastic surgeon start slicing and dicing and pulling the face back and open you up and taking stuff out here, putting stuff back up here. Yeah, it can be pretty taxing on the physiology at some point. It does, and it has for many people that have gone that route. So just consider there are so many other ways that men can attain what they would perceive as the perfect physique. And again, you don't have to lift any heavy weights to do this. You don't have to lift any heavy weights. I've been a personal trainer now for professionally now for 10 years or nearly 10 years. And I know that no person on the planet needs to go under the knife. Throughout history, that we never needed to do that. This is a new phenomenon because of the society we live in, the culture we live in here in America, that says that you don't need to change yourself. You can just have a plastic surgery or a plastic surgery procedure do it for you. You don't have to change your mind. You don't have to change your thoughts, the way you think about yourself, the way you think about your body, and appreciate it for what it is, and mastering what you have and making it look better by learning about yourself. No, we don't want to do that. We just want to, give our money to the plastic surgery. We're talking tens of thousands of dollars that can be used for something that will give you something in return over and over and over and over again, outside of attention, wanted or unwanted. So just consider that. Leave your comments. This is, and for men that are watching this, leave your comments. For women watching this, what do you think? You think more men should start having plastic surgery so they can start looking more plastic too? And artificial. Do women want artificial men? Is that what's happening now? Do women truly want artificial men that are aesthetically artificial? Leave your comments and let me know what you think. I'm going to sign out. This has been a great edition of the Kinetic Hour. Like I said, I'm going to do the best that I can to come on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. And again, you can go to my YouTube channel at Kinetic Fit and Wellness Info. And also this specific YouTube channel at Kinetic, or at the Kinetic Hour, two YouTube channels, the Kinetic Hour and Kinetic Fit and Wellness Info at Kinetic Fit, and the Kinetic Hour at the Kinetic Hour. So thank you all for tuning in. It's always appreciated. Tell everyone that you know about the Kinetic Hour. I'm still working on getting some guests on, so we can have some dialogue, back and forth dialogue. So it just won't be me trying to do the best that I can to, just give some opinions about anything and everything that's going on in the world. As I said on my first couple of podcasts, my pre-recorded podcasts, that everything is on the table. All topics are on the table, whether it's social matters, economic matters, relationship matters, health matters, physical health and mental health. All subjects are on the table because they all need to be discussed. So again, we can make where we live a better place to live every single day. So again, thank you for tuning in. I appreciate it. Come back next time for another edition of the Kinetic Hour. Until next time.